Red Bull has rejected the notion of a quiet Formula One summer break by making the shock announcement that Pierre Gasly will be replaced by Alex Albon for the rest of the season. Gasly's struggles alongside Max Verstappen have been evident from the moment he crashed in pre-season testing. Red Bull has staunchly supported its new driver since then and insisted Gasly would see out the season as recently as the Hungarian Grand Prix weekend, just over 1 week ago. So, what's happened to change the team's mind? Why has it picked F1 rookie Albon for such a rapid promotion? And how big a risk is the team taking? The arguments for Red Bull invoking this change are fairly simple on paper. Gasly has been nowhere near teammate Verstappen this season. Verstappen has 181 points and is fighting for second in the World Championship. Gasly has 63 points and is only just ahead of the leading midfield drivers in the standings. On wins, podiums and poles, Verstappen is also in the clear, with 2 wins, 5 top 3 finishes and a pole position from 12 Grand Prix, whereas Gasly has not started or finished a race higher than 4th. In qualifying terms, Gasly has the worst record of the current grid, averaging a half a second deficit to his teammate at the point of elimination. Azerbaijan and Canada are excluded from this because of external factors that affect the final lap time. Gasly was never expected to match Verstappen straight away, let alone beat him, but his struggles have been bigger and lasted longer than anyone expected. Red Bull has the ability to beat Ferrari to second in the Constructors' Championship this season, and it also has its eyes on a title bid in 2020. It would already be beating Ferrari this year if Gasly was already returning points at around the same rate that the second drivers at Mercedes and Ferrari are doing. For example, Valtteri Bottas has 75% of Lewis Hamilton's points, while Charles Leclerc has 85% of Sebastian Vettel's. But Gasly is on a meagre 35% of what Verstappen has scored. In Hungary, Gasly's absence from the lead battle was the first time Red Bull seriously lost out because of its second car's poor performance, as it left Verstappen vulnerable to a Mercedes strategy gamble. Gasly is hurting Red Bull's prospects short term, but also in the longer term. It expects to fight for the title next year, and the version of Gasly seen over the first half of the 2019 campaign is not good enough for those ambitions. Red Bull is therefore plumping for Albon to see if his impressive rookie season at Toro Rosso might make him the best option for the senior team full-time in 2020. Having run the other Toro Rosso driver Daniil Kvyat at Red Bull Racing back in 2015 and 2016, Red Bull already has plenty of data on the Russian. Albon is raw, but has performed excellently so far as a rookie, so it makes sense for Red Bull to assess him more closely in its own environment. It's not a bad opportunity for a driver who had signed a contract to race in Formula E in 2018 and 19 after begging dams for a Formula 2 drive last year. Red Bull's decision makes it clear that for its 2020 driver lineup, it is choosing between 3 young men who have all had a setback at some point within the company's programme to partner Max Verstappen. Albon himself was only re-signed by Red Bull at the end of last year to race for Toro Rosso, having been dropped as a junior many years ago. Kvyat is in his 3rd spell at Toro Rosso, while Gasly has now been demoted back to the junior team as well. Albon's task is not easy. He has to learn a new car, a new engineering team, in a completely different competitive environment, under much more pressure, and against a teammate who Red Bull thinks is the best driver in F1 at the moment. More experienced drivers have wilted under the glare of a mid-season change of teams, and if this gamble fails, it could have a seriously negative impact on Albon. The demotion may also wreck Gasly's confidence, while Kvyat still needs to convince Red Bull he is worthy of a recall to the senior team after he lost his seat there 3 years ago. That means Red Bull's move could eliminate all its internal options for Verstappen's teammate, or at the very least make it difficult, but it believes this is the only way to make an informed decision. The risk is therefore very high. So, do you think Red Bull has made the right call? And who would you like to see alongside Verstappen next year? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.